Today's episode is brought to you by Me Undies. They're the undies that I have on me. Also, today we're brought to you by Honey. Save some money when you shop online with Honey. And we're also brought to you by Beam. Beam is that high-quality premium CBD to make you go to bed instead of just listening to this podcast, right? I bet some of you are listening right now in bed, waiting to go to sleep. Well, keep listening, because I'm going to be loud, apparently. Let's jump into this podcast.
Hello, everybody, it's time for Cox and Crendor.
Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. Before our recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up, it's up next Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Hey, what's going on? Here we go.
Hey.
It's time for an episode. Here we go.
I'm waiting for like some sort of wow.
Nah, you're not getting that.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're not getting any of that.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I will say, our last show, someone commented that this show is starting to turn into that routine phone call with your grandma where she tells you of her aches and pains, what she ate this week, and crazy news she heard on TV or radio.
I've never felt so called out before in my entire life. It's not wrong. It's not inaccurate. That is an accurate assessment of some of our episodes follow a routine.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. But I'd like to believe that you're here for that routine.
Yeah. It's, sometimes we got wild stories. Other times, it's just, that's the template,
Well, I mean, it's hard to have wild stories when you, are stuck indoors because of pandemics.
Yeah, and you're like us and you just work on the internet, making videos and streaming.
Yeah, it's tough. Not every day is a wild story day. Although I do have a wild story from my parents, which was just a real treat.
All right, do tell. We're breaking the template. Here we go.
So this weekend on Sunday, I went out to get breakfast with my parents. My parents are lovely. They always are. They have thoughts and opinions on things. They're always willing to share them with me. And my mom, I'm sure she's gonna message me after this. She's like, I didn't mean it like that. I'm aware she didn't. I'm aware she was trying to be motherly and supportive, but it came out so wrong. It was so funny to me. So we're driving to go get breakfast, and my mom is like, I was watching the news and they were talking about this boy who bought Pokemon cards, but he spent millions of dollars on them, but then they weren't Pokemon cards. And I'm like, yeah, I heard about that. I was like, did you hear that it actually wasn't even a big thing because the dude got a refund? She's like, oh, I didn't hear about that. Did you hear about Markiplier? And I was like, Markle? And she's like, Markiplier? I'm like, yeah. She's like, did you know he makes $40 million a year? And I was like, uh-huh. And my dad was like, how? By the way, my dad's in the back seat during this conversation. It makes it even funnier. And he's like, how? My mom's like, you don't make that. And I know she's being playful, but my dad was like, one day he could. My mom was like, though that boy, he was very good looking. He was sort of thin. Remember that skinny kid with the dark hair? I remember when he had less subscribers than you. And I was like, yeah, me too. I was like, yeah, I remember that.
That was a classic.
Yeah, and she was like, not everyone needs to be that kind of handsome. Why, I was watching Ricky Gervais. I'm like, where's this going? What is happening right now?
Some people are ugly and funny, like you.
Honestly, I was like bracing for that comment. I was ready for her to be like, not everyone needs to be attractive. Like, I was bracing for it. But instead of going that direction, she started talking about his shows, and on the shows that he creates, he always hires characters that look weird. And I don't know if she was trying to say it, but the way it came off is it made me feel like she was saying, "You're not Ricky Gervais. You're one of the weird side. You're like a Stephen Merchant or a weird side character."
That's true. I'm the Carl Pilkington, and you're the Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, they were like, she was like, he he hires these weird character actors. And then my dad was like, well, you know, they are acting though. And my mom was like, so you're saying they're not the real people? And my dad was like, no, I mean, they look that way. And she's like, what if it was just acting? And I was like, you mean they're pretending to look that I couldn't. They had the entire car ride a conversation that I could not follow because they were talking about a show that I've never seen, about actors in the show, and one of those actors were in fact really acting or just ugly in real life. I have no idea. And then they started debating the plot of the show, which again, I've never seen.
Right.
They're still having a conversation about it. We get to the restaurant, sit down to eat brunch, and only then do they finish up the conversation. And I'm telling you, I don't know what the conversation was about. I still don't know where that was headed. They got drinks and we moved on. And I just have no clue where the conversation was headed. They just went off on a tangent, and it happens so frequently. Every time I have a conversation with them, it starts one way, and then the two of them get in an argument about some aspect of the story, and then it goes off in a different direction, and it never returns. We will move. It'll be 25 minutes, and we have clearly moved on. And I'm still wondering, like, what was the point of any of this? Where did we come from? Where did we go? We straight up Cotton Eye Joe our entire conversation.
It's like the point is, why aren't you a millionaire?
I think they were being playful, but it also was just like, yes, no, I too am reminded about my lack of success when compared to all these billionaires every day. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know.
You almost got to 1 million subs. Weren't you doing that big thing where you're going to hit it and you never did? What's up with that?
Remember all your failures? Yeah, we just figured we'd bring those up again. I appreciate the fact that they care, right? But also, it's like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying things with zero. You know what? That's like me. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time, but I'll say it full-throated with confidence. And that is my parents. I learned it from them.
It's, you know, I mean, speaking of the YouTube and Twitch and stuff, I mean, it all stems back to, like, people are oblivious to, like, how much the big people at the top make, which is why, like, the Twitch income thing came out and everyone's like, oh my god, and I was like, oh yeah, like, yeah. Like, people that are in the industry like us know it. But it's like the NBA where the top people are like, oh, he got like $1 billion Adidas sponsorship and he's getting paid like $100 million by the team, and there's people like us that are like, give him the veteran minimum, like $50K. You know?
Yeah, you know, like pay him at scale.
It's, you know, it's none of it shocks me. Like, I typed in Markiplier, it's like, his net worth will shock you, and I'm like, not really.
I don't know where Ninja streams a lot these days, but for some reason Ninja was trending on Twitter today, so I clicked it, and the first thing I saw was a video of Ninja playing Final Fantasy 11, and I was like, what? So I clicked on the on Ninja's Twitch thinking, oh, maybe he's playing Final Fantasy 11 for some reason. I was like, I actually might want to watch that, right? Because that game's so old,
right?
And I would love to see what he has to say about it. But his entire Twitch feed was all, I'm sure, as you can guess, Fortnite. So it must have been a while ago. It must have been, you know. And so I started scrolling back. I was like, oh, if it's a while ago, I'll just scroll back till I can find it. Except I ended up scrolling back, and only maybe 3 or 4 scrolls, I'm at a year plus away. I'm like, whoa, how many streams does this man do? So I scroll back up, and he does like 1 stream every few weeks. I'm like, I cannot handle this. This is that one stream, I make enough for a month viewership. Just like, all right, okay, this man has more money than God. Gotcha.
I mean, he had that Mixer deal. They literally paid him like 30 to 50 million or something to go stream on Mixer, and then it crashed, and he's like, well, I guess I can do what I want again. So I mean,
crazy.
You just chill out, you just pop in like, I feel like streaming today. Anyway, see you later.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And unfortunately for you and I, if we want to not be on the street, we got to do it. It's like, this is an everyday situation.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, I mean, they're pretty much the 1% of the 1%.
Right,
so.
Right. And that's, you know, it's one of those things where every time someone talks about the most famous people on Twitch or YouTube, I'm always just like, I get it. It's celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
boy,
you know what? I've always mentioned it, but like, I like not being that big. Like, you want to just stay right in the middle. You're relevant. You make enough to live, maybe, you know, if you ever make more than that, you're like, all right, nice, but like, you know, not irrelevant. And then because when you get too big, that's when you get people like your parents talking about you, and you're like getting tabloided, and people are like writing articles and shit about you. I don't want
Crendor,
that.
I want that. I want to get so big that someone writes an article about me that's like, Jesse Cox gone too far, and it's just like me at a party with like 8 drugged up women, and I'm like, there's like a table of like booze in front of us for some reason, and a DJ, a famous DJ's there.
Right.
And that's the photo. It's like this weird photo of like super cool Jesse out for the. I want that. I want to have like, has Jesse Cox gone too far?
Also, saying just at a party with drugged up women does not sound very good.
I mean, I didn't drug them up. They brought their own drugs.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, like I'm not drugging women, Crendor.
All
They
right, I'm
brought
just
their
saying
own
the
drugs.
way you
and
worded it. See, this is what I mean.
decided
The way you
to hang
worded
out
that,
with the drug
someone
women.
would have wrote an article about you and been like, Jesse Cox likes drugged up women. I'm telling you, you need me as your
see,
PR
now
guy.
I'm on my way. I'm making the effort.
I need to be
You
your
can't
PR
have an
guy.
article written about you and drugged up women if you don't have drugged up women. I'm just saying. Then it'd be a lie if they weren't there.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
It's all about the wording.
No, that's why I get in trouble. And they're like, that wascally wabbit Jesse Cox and his drugged up women. And then when I come back from my canceling, I'm even more popular. I think is how that works.
Yeah, you spend like a month on your private yacht, and then you come back, and then you get more popular. That's how it works.
Yeah, and then people are like, oh, he's back on his stream.
Yeah.
And then I make a video like, my wording was poor. I meant to say that they brought their own drugs. And that I just provided them a safe, if anything, I provided them a safe place to do their drugs without judgment. And if anything, I feel like you all should be thanking me for that.
He's so kind and considerate.
See, there you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. So we're not millionaires.
Not even close. Yeah, no, not even close.
But I did see all your 5-minute gaming news, and I've been reacting to them.
I saw you reacting, and I believe in one of your videos, I think you said something along the lines of, I guess I'll do this until Jesse reacts, and so I've chosen not to react in hopes that you'll be forced to do it forever.
I mean, it's got to happen. I mean, I'm not going to react to every one of them, but if I see one of them that interests me, then I'm going to react to it. Like,
well, there you go.
You said, like, you did the one today, rip Xbox One. I don't really give a shit about Xbox One, so I don't care. I'm not going to react to that one. But if there's something
I saw
pops up with
I
something
saw you
else.
reacted to one of mine, and you, man, what did you say? You said something along the lines of that. You said, "Oh, he's lying. This guy definitely does this thing." I don't remember what it was,
yeah.
but I was like, "No, that's
Yes.
not true."
All right, so here's what I remember now. You said, I love watching reaction videos. And I was like, no, you don't.
Oh, I do though. That's the one thing I do watch is all the time reaction videos. In fact, lately that's all I watch on YouTube.
But you've told me in the past you don't even watch YouTube.
I know. And things have changed since then, is what I'm saying.
All right, well, I guess
I used to not watch YouTube. Well, I'll tell you about the rabbit hole I fell down during COVID, when it was peak COVID, and I was like indoors and had nothing to do. I would watch. It started with me watching young teens react to like 70s and 80s and 90s
Oh, yeah.
rock.
They're like, a VHS tape? What's that?
Yeah, and I watched that. And then it transitioned into me watching this girl react to seeing movies, because she seems like she's probably raised in the wilderness and has never seen a movie before. And so she's like reacting to movies for the first time. And it's movies that every human being has seen. So it's just wild watching her react. But then the problem was she like blew up and became very popular, and now is kind of like living in her ego, and I'm over it. She got an editor to like edit the videos. I'm like, nah, I'm over it. This is too much.
That's too much.
Yeah. And so I moved on from her to watching. There's this guy who does this is my flow of the last 2 years, by the way.
All right.
There's this guy who he used to be on a channel called Gamma Ray, but they stopped making content, and I think he makes his own channel now, but I can't remember his name to save his life. But all he does is he takes Marvel reaction videos and compiles the best ones together to make like, here's what everyone thought. And I'm like, oh, this is actually very well done. And so I'll watch that because, have a Marvel podcast, and I figure I'll watch what Marvel people. And then it devolved into me watching random people react to. I think for a while I was watching random people react to Shawshank Redemption, and then I was watching random people react to the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he like is in dreams. I just forgot the name of that.
Inception.
Yeah, Inception, stuff like that. And so I love watching, and then as a Final Fantasy 14 fan, I love watching people react to the things that happen in Final Fantasy 14. So I definitely like reaction videos. I don't watch a lot else on YouTube. I'm not a big, I don't watch gaming videos. I don't watch a lot of, I'm definitely not watching makeup tutorials or vlogs. That's not happening. Not a lot of comedy skits and things I'm watching online, unless something's linked to me directly. No, most of my time is spent watching reaction videos. If I just happen to have a night where I'm a little, ooh, is that an edible? If I just happen to be out of it a little bit,
right,
on the old TV, I'll turn on YouTube and just scroll through reaction videos. Because it's like I'm watching the thing I like, plus a random stranger to fill the I have no friends in my life right now because everyone is either sick or to fill that void in my soul. That's what happens. Not all of us have a wife who tolerates us or nearby friends. Some of us have friends that work way too much or either immunocompromised or either definitely have COVID and you can't see. Either way, it's a mess. And I've replaced them with internet people I don't know. So far, so good.
It's very fun. I mean... I've been playing a lot of League of Legends recently.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, and how much do you hate yourself?
Not too much, honestly. I've been doing pretty well. There's only occasionally, the guy where we get into the lobby and he types in all caps, nobody pick Yasuo, nobody pick Yasuo, don't ban Yasuo, I'm Yasuo, and then they banned Yasuo, and he's like, oh my god, this is so dumb, and then he picks a thing, and he's like, they took Vex, oh my god, I hate against Vex, and I, dodged that game right away. I was like, this is a loss. So instead of wasting that time, I was dodged. I feel like that's part of the strategy. You gotta dodge the toxicity.
I don't want to play a game where I have to dodge other players like that.
I do.
That sucks, man.
It's part of the fun. When you dodge that, you get a hit of dopamine. You're like, whew, just dodge that one. But then when you win, you get that super dopamine hit, and you're like, oh, yeah, we just stomped. Oh, my God, yesterday, playing the mummy, right? Playing a moo-moo in the jungle. Okay? And then...
Who is moo-moo?
A moo-moo.
What is that?
He's a mummy.
I'm looking this guy up. A moo-moo.
He cries... and he throws his bandages at people and he stuns them, and then he does.
Is he like a little baby mummy? What is this thing?
Yeah, he's like a little baby mummy. All right. So he can stun people, he injures people around him, and he does a big AoE stun. That's his thing. So I was in a game, and at first we were
What is
losing.
he? Support? What is this guy?
He's a jungler.
Okay.
You jungle, okay? So I'm jungling, I'm doing my thing.
What does jungling mean?
Okay, so you know how in Heroes of the Storm you would all pick lanes?
Sure.
And then in the course of the game you would go do the NPC mobs.
Right, so you're the guy in the middle running around in the jungle.
Right, so I essentially don't use a lane, I just get all the jungle NPC mobs, and that's how I level up, and then I try to help my lanes out. So if top's getting beat, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna come gank for you, or and you get the objectives and stuff. That's what
so how do you know? Because I don't play League. How do you know what characters are good for jungling? Is it based on whether they can handle the packs in the jungle?
It's a combination thing. Some of it's just how fast they can clear the camps. So if they clear it fast, that's good. How well they can survive in the jungle. How well they can help lanes. So if you have CC stuns, that's good because you can go help a lane out and you can stun the guy and then kill him. So there's a bunch of stuff. There's assassins in the jungle, so they can go jump out and try to get ganks and stuff. So it depends what you want to do.
But there are certain characters I would wager that are better for that.
Yes, very much.
Okay, so, now I'm caught up.
There you go. All right, so I'm playing a moo-moo, and he's Warwick, all right? He's like a werewolf guy. Really annoying. Okay, so he's coming into my jungle to counter jungle me. So he's taking my stuff, and I'm like, yo, we need help. And then some guy comes to help me, and we both die. And I'm like, oh my god. So I bust out the insult. I'm like, this guy takes 30 items into the 15 item or less lane. All right. So he starts being like, "Oh, this guy's mad." All right, I was like, "My name's Angry Lawn Gnome. Of course I'm mad. That's my league name." Then, we start going down. Everybody's doing bad except for the Vane. All right, so Vane, vampire hunter lady. All right, she just rolls around, shoots a crossbow. That's all she does.
Sylvain?
No, just Vane. Vayne.
Vayne. I'm looking up these
There you
people. I don't know who these people is. Oh yeah, no, she's a vampire hunter, but she's got red glasses. You know?
Yes. So she just rolls around, shoots her crossbow thing. That's what she does. So we were down by like 15 kills, but this is like gold. So like high silver, low gold is like, it's pretty bad for like people playing together as a team. So if you like know what you're doing and you at least play at like a plat level even, you can probably just win even if you're down by like 15. So I was like, dude, all right, all we gotta do is get this Vane fed and peel for the Vane, which is like, don't let anybody hit the Vane, essentially. We're like bodyguarding her. So the game keeps going, and we keep getting better, and then I hit a big time ult. I Q in with my stun, I ult their team, and then Vane kills everybody. I'm like, dude, this is it. This is the turn of tide. Then we keep going. And then the one guy in their team on all chats just like, you guys think you're going to win. You're stupid. And I was, so we're just like, whatever.
He got you.
We keep going. We keep coming back. And we just kept winning every fight because all we did is protect the Vane. And she just kept snowballing and getting bigger and bigger. And then that was it. And then we won the game. And then they were very mad, the opposing team. They were just yelling at each other like, if this guy on the team wasn't an idiot and decided to group up. And he's like, maybe if you didn't suck at the game. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's good. Nothing is more fun than when the opposing team that was trolling you and making fun of you at the start is then fighting with each other by the end because they lost. It's so good.
I don't like this Crendor that enjoys other people's suffering. This Crendor is, I'm going to say...
League of Legends.
This Crendor is an awful person.
I mean, that's been me playing League of Legends for like at least 10 years.
I believe that. I believe this is 10 years of bitter league play. Checks out to me.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a fun time. I enjoy it, unless you're losing, in which case
it's a fun time. Huge fan. I don't know. It sounds awfully anxiety-ridden.
Well, you do get a lot of anxious, but that's like sports. You know, you're hyper competitive. You're fighting against each other. That's what it is. I love it. So, been doing that. And then, I mean, you know, just my standard stuff. You know, working out, doing some Warhammer painting. I'm excited for the new Total Warhammer game coming out. It's going to be good.
I'm very excited for that. Soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
It's got to be soon. I don't know. I can't think of anything else I was doing, really. There's probably something, but I can't think of it.
All right. Well, then you don't need to, because let's move to some high-quality advertisements, is what I say.
Wow, what a segue.
Thank you. Me Undies. Is someone you love in a relationship with someone else who tells the same joke over and over? Are you listening to a podcast where the two guys on it keep saying the same sad, depressing, I'm falling apart anecdotes again and again? Now, let's be honest. Is this somebody you? Because, look, podcasts aren't perfect, and neither are relationships. That's why Me Undies is celebrating our imperfectly perfect matches with new Valentine's Day collection. Me Undies, I have worn for years now, and if I ever find a significant other who also wears them, I'll let you know. It's probably a match. It's probably my matching pair. If you're gifting underwear for Valentine's Day, that's nothing too exciting, right? It's happened before. People have done it all the time. But gifting matching underwear for you and your significant other, now we're talking. Express your one-of-a-kind relationship when you match your bottom half to your better half. Wink, 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 wink. With fun limited edition prints. If you're single, mingle in the matching pairs with your friends or fam. Hey, if you got dog buddies, get your dog buddy, like a buddy band from Me Undies. Be sure to check out all the super cute, super soft Me Undies, socks, bralettes, loungewear, all available in sizes from extra small to 4XL. Me Undies has a great offer for you right now. If you are listening, you can get 25% off your first order of matching pairs for Valentine's Day. Or if you're a first-time purchaser, you can get 15% off and free shipping right to your door. So to get 25% off matching pairs, 15% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
That's MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
Also, today we're brought to you by Honey. Honey is the way you can save money on your phone, on your computer, whatever. Honey is easy. When you're shopping online, look, we all shop online. I do it frequently. It is something that is a place where you can find all the best deals. So why not find better deals, right? Do you usually have a promo code at checkout? I'm going to wager probably not. Well, with Honey, you definitely will. And that's what makes Honey so amazing. Because Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. So imagine you're shopping online for, whatever at one of your favorite sites. When you check out, the Honey button appears, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds, and Honey will find the one that is best for you on that site. If Honey finds it, boom, watch those prices drop. If you're wondering, Jesse, what did you last save money on? I think I mentioned this last time, but the last big order I did was for some clothes to wear during various shoots and things, and it straight up was half off, is what it ended up being. It was great. You can't beat that. I saved $50. And Honey doesn't just work on your desktop. As I mentioned, it's on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save as you go. If you don't already have Honey, you're straight up missing out. By getting it, you're doing yourself a solid. Go to joinhoney.com/Cox to get it for free. That's joinhoney, HONEY.com/COX right now. Also today we're brought to you by Beam. Do you want to be part of the wellness revolution of 2022? Come on. I know you do. Do you want to prioritize a good night's sleep this year?
Yes.
After the last few years? Yes, I think you do. I know I do. Well, Beam is the world's most innovative functional wellness brand. And today, we're talking about Beam sleep product Dream Powder. It's their best-selling healthy hot cocoa. It contains natural sleep promotion ingredients, triple lab tested, no THC, and you wake up feeling refreshed. Let me tell you, CBD, don't sleep on it, y'all. Actually, you will sleep on it, but don't sleep on it. You know what I mean? All you got to do is mix the Dream Powder in with hot water or milk, stir, and enjoy before bedtime. It's that simple. I cannot stress how good it tastes. It is just one of those things you have sort of when you're chilling out at night, getting ready, just sort of relax and call it an evening. And start it with that, I'm telling you, you'll be ready for bed. Find out why Forbes and the New York Times are all talking about Beam and why it's trusted by the world's top athletes like Danica Patrick and Baker Mayfield. For a limited time, get $20 off, $75 or more when you go to beamorganics.com/Cox and use code Cox at checkout. That's BEAM organics.com/COX and use Cox at checkout for $20 off. Make 2022 the year of you with Beam. All right, Crendor, let's go chop up some of this guys. Crendor, how's that traffic out there?
Oh boy, we got traffic and it is wild. We got so many cars slip sliding all over because there's snow, there's ice, there's rain, there's I don't know, other stuff that's all over the road. Gotta watch out for that. Also, flying around, it's calming down a bit with the holidays over, but still people gotta go places, so you gotta watch out there. Just still a lot of people doing a lot of things. And that is the traffic of the day.
Oh, okay. Let's go to weather.
Weather. Welcome to the weather desk. We had ourselves a winter storm. Did you see that one?
In Chicago?
No. Winter storm Izzy hit the East Coast.
Why did you say we? It wasn't me, and it certainly wasn't you. You mean like the Universal
States.
we? Right. Okay.
Yeah. So Winter Storm Izzy, which, it feels weird to be like, yo, Izzy. Izzy's wrecking havoc. I don't know. They got like a foot of snow in some places, which, if it's like New York, they probably don't give a shit. But if it's like in South Carolina or something. That's probably going to be a bit worse. So, I mean, that's all I got in the winter storm. I didn't really look into it all that much.
Oh, wow. All right. Yeah. Okay. So is that the weather, or is that what was that exactly?
No. That was just the weather update in a general sense. All right?
Understood. Okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So somebody says, for the next weather, could you do Escuminac, Quebec? It is my hometown.
Escuminac.
Escuminac.
I mean, yeah, we can certainly try.
Escuminac, Quebec, Canada. I guess it's like Escumier, right? 'Cause it's like Quebec's like French, right? French Canadian.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Escumier. It's 28 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll have to figure that Celsius out. You got 21% chance of precipitation through 8 p.m. It's going to drop down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity 95%, pressure 29.22, visibility 3 miles, wind 21 miles an hour, pretty windy. Dew point 27, and the moon phase a full moon. As of the 10-day, windy with snow showers in the evening, mixture of rain and snow overnight. It's going to get wacky wild, 20-30 mile an hour winds, 5 to 10 after a while with a 70% chance of precipitation. Tuesday, 31 degrees, mostly cloudy. Wednesday, it's going to drop down to 5 degrees with 30 is the low. PM snow showers. Then you've got 1 to 3 inches of snow coming in that overnight. Then you got 13 degrees on Thursday. And Friday, it's going to be sunny with a temperature of -1.
Woo, no thank you. No thank you, Quebec.
Yeah, no thank you. I'm not a big fan once you get into the single digits and the negatives. I'm fine. That's the weather in Escuminac.
It sounds cold. It sounds like a place I wouldn't be able to handle. But hey, thrilled that you're listening. That's pretty good. Thanks for that.
Yeah. I did Google their thing. They got a big like castle or something there. It's pretty wild.
A French Canadian castle?
It says the Chateau Bahia. I don't even know if it's in there. It might just be Quebec. That just pops up or something.
Crazy thing is that there's a lot of castles in Canada.
Oh yeah, I guess because like they probably built them right away or something when they.
Although one castle looks like a giant log cabin castle, which I think is very Canadian.
Oh yeah, that's much more Canadian.
But wow, I think this is what you were talking about. I'm looking at this castle. That's a castle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's incredible looking.
Yeah, I just picture. I was just picture him like instead of like boiling oil, they just pour boiling maple syrup onto the people.
I think it'd be worse, honestly.
I think it would too.
Then you're in pain, but also delicious. So people are gonna try and eat you up. I know what that shit's like. That's my curse.
I'm not even gonna ask.
In pain but delicious.
Sports.
All right. Let's go on to sports.
Sports. We had some NFL playoff games. Waha hey. So the Cincinnati Bengals getting their first playoff win since 1990, defeating the Las Vegas Raiders 26-19. The Buffalo Bills blew out the Patriots 47-17. The Buccaneers beat the Eagles 31-15. The 49ers upset the Cowboys 23-17. And the Chiefs blew out the Steelers 42-21.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yep. And then tonight we got Cardinals-Rams, which should be a pretty good game. And the winner of that will play the Buccaneers, which means the divisional round is going to be Bengals versus Titans, 49ers versus Packers, Buccaneers versus whoever wins, and then the Bills and the Chiefs. So honestly, pretty solid games. I'm hoping for Packers versus either Bengals, Titans, or Bills. That's my Super Bowl hopes. It's probably going to end up being Chiefs versus Buccaneers again, and I'm going to hate it. So, woo! Then, over in basketball, it's not been too fun for me. The Bulls are playing with like half their team, so they keep losing because of so many injuries. But they're still in first. And then the Heat, the Nets, the Cavs, the Bucks, and the 76ers all right behind them. In the West, you got the Suns way up at the top, and you got the Warriors, the Jazz, the Grizzlies, and then the rest, because they're all like 5.5 games behind after that point. So that's your basketball, and then your hockey. You've got some Panthers at the top, tied with the Lightning. You got the Rangers at the top, Hurricanes right behind them. You got the Avalanche and the Predators up the top of Central, and you got the Golden Knights with the Kings and the Ducks right behind them in that division. And the Olympics are now only 2.5 weeks away.
Hey.
So look at that. So that's your sports.
Okay. Hey, Crendor,
Yeah.
what's our weird topic of the day?
Well, interesting fact.
Oh, right. I meant interesting fact. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I understand.
Right.
Well, I got 2 facts for you, a bit related to weather, actually. How you like that?
All right. It's convenient they're both related to weather, but yes, okay.
Well, we've got the coldest and the hottest temperatures ever recorded.
Uh-oh. Where? How? What?
That's right. How? I don't know, though. Nature was doing it. The coldest temperature ever recorded occurred in Antarctica, and it was negative 144 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, thank you.
For all the
Wow.
Celsius people, that's negative 97.7. Then the hottest temperature was in Furnace Creek, Death Valley.
Yep.
Fitting.
That checks out.
Yep. At 134 degrees Fahrenheit on July 10th, 1913.
That is too much.
Yeah, that is, for all the Celsius people again, 56.6.
I don't know. There's some comfort in that the world can freeze a little bit better than it can heat. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah, like it's a little bit better. It's fine. Both are terrifying, but like, it's all right.
So yeah, whenever somebody's like, "You think that's cold?" just be like, "Yeah, well, I live in Antarctica. It's negative 144 outside."
Yo, I live in Antarctica, so get wrecked. Yeah.
Take that, you idiots.
Mm-hmm.
That's your fact of the day. Facts, if you will.
All right. Let's go with our big news story of the day.
Big news story of the day.
You sounded less like you were singing a song and more like you were one of the ghosts that haunt the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
I am the ghost of the pirates. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
I don't like that. I am the ghost of the pirates. Ha, 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 ha. That's a terrible song. That's a terrible song.
I'm a ghost. What are you gonna do?
Of the pirates.
So we got the big news story of the day. This one is a Massachusetts man.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what he does besides being somehow both charming and racist. What's going on with Massachusetts man?
Well, Massachusetts man crashes car into liquor store, breaks in, decides to smoke, drink, and snack.
Okay. I mean, he did just crash. He needed a moment.
That's true. First up, here's the picture. Kind of looks like Voldemort.
Whoa, he does have a Voldemort look.
Chief James McIntyre reports that the Stoneham Police Department arrested a man that allegedly crashed his vehicle and broke into a liquor store on Saturday and charged him with assaulting
Oh, by the way, speaking of Voldemort,
yep.
charming but racist. Yeah, same thing.
That is true.
Or I guess mugglist, but same thing.
Yeah. He hated those muggles. He hated them.
He's so much muggle hate.
Which,
In
by
fact,
the way,
calling
for,
them muggles seems offensive.
it's such
They're
a
people, man.
like thinking about that in terms, just like it's weird. Just be like, oh, those are muggles, like humans that just can't do magic. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Yeah, you know what? Wizards, they're the problem, not us.
Yeah, wizards are the problem. Anyway, he crashed his vehicle and broke into a liquor store, tried to assault officers. On Saturday, January 8th at approximately 1 a.m., Stoneham police were dispatched to Rapid Liquors, located at 171 Main Street, for a report of a triggered burglary alarm. The Rapid Liquors. Like, how fast do you got to get your liquor? You know? Like, why can't they just have, like, a...
Rapidly. Rapidly is how fast.
Do you need it that fast? Like, what about, like, moderately timed liquors?
I always thought, look, the idea of a liquor drive-through, which exists, I always thought was crazy, but here we are.
Yeah. Upon arrival, they located a vehicle that had crashed into the doorway of the store. Officers entered the doorway and observed the suspect, later identified as 54-year-old John Bacagalluopo of Revere.
Yep.
Inside the business near the cash registers, smoking a cigar, drinking a beer, and eating chips. Officers commanded Bacagalluopo to exit the store. However, he allegedly refused to comply. He told officers he was armed with a firearm and said they needed to shoot him while motioning behind his back to his waistline. Bacagalluopo continued to refuse to comply with officers' commands, repeating that he had a firearm and they needed to shoot him.
What?
In an attempt, he wanted to be shot, apparently. In an attempt to de-escalate the situation, they deployed their Taser brand electronic control weapon 3 times. However, it had no effect on Bacagalluopo, who is taser-proof. Officers attempted to take Bacagalluopo into custody and struggles ensued. At one point, Bacagalluopo allegedly struck an officer in the face and merchandise fell from the shelves. Eventually, they were able to place him under arrest. He refused medical treatment and was transported to the Stoneham police station where he was booked. Bacagalluopo was charged with assault and battery on a police officer, breaking and entering in the nighttime, larceny under 1200, malicious destruction of property under 1200, malicious destruction of property over 1200, and resisting arrest. I wish to commend the 3 Stoneham police officers for apprehending a dangerous suspect who was willing to use violence against them to resist arrest. They did a great job restraining and using their training and experience to de-escalate a violent situation. I am grateful the situation was brought to an end without serious injury or a suspect or by the officer, Chief McIntyre said. Bacagalluopo is being held on $100,000 of bail. Is expected to be arraigned Monday at Woburn District Court. The incident remains under investigation.
I guess. I think I can figure out what happened there, but okay.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist.
Yeah, like, there's a lot to investigate here. We have to really sift through the evidence. Like, okay, do your work, I guess.
Big thing here, this dude's taser proof. He wasn't getting brought down.
I have a feeling a lot of people in mass are taser proof.
He's like the Hulk. Just keeps shooting him, and he's like, like ripping it off with a cigar in his mouth. Just takes another puff.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those guys.
Just in Boston, like, you think that's gonna do it to me?
For some reason, he's eating a meatball sub while he's doing it.
I grew up on the streets of Boston.
Who am I kidding? It's not a meatball sub. It's clearly Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, yeah, it's a Dunkin' Donuts.
He's eating a Dunkin' Donut. He has a coffee in his hand. Actually, it's a Dunkachino.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
it's a Dunkachino.
What are you trying to do? You trying to shoot me?
Don't tase me, bro.
I love Boston. Boston's one of my favorite cities, but it's also filled with the most irate people I've ever met in my life, and I have no idea why. I cannot figure out why the people that live there are so angry all the time.
I know.
Like, it's such a beautiful, it's a wonderful place. And most of the time when you talk to people, they're lovely, but there's also, even underneath the loveliness, they're ready to lash out at anyone at any time. There's always like an undercurrent of like one bad word and I'm freaking out. And you're like, okay, wow, all right.
That's Massachusetts, Maine.
All right, well, that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening and watching. However, enjoying this podcast, Crendor, hit him with the socials.
Check out our socials. We have so many socials. We've got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast, all one word. You can also cut off the podcast part. You can see all the funny animations if you do that. You can also go to youtube.com/ go to the other places the podcast is at. We got iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. Then you can go to youtube.com/Jesse Cox. see all the 5-minute gaming news. Then go to youtube.com/Crendor, see all of the me reacting to 5-minute gaming news. Then go to twitter.com/JessCox, twitter.com/Crendor, Facebook JessCox, Facebook Crendor, Patreon JessCox, Patreon Crendor, and probably some other stuff.
Okay, that's it. We'll see y'all next time. And as always, to be continued.